Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly move toward the life they want, while others feel stuck no matter how hard they try? The truth is simple. The quality of your life is shaped by the quality of your thinking. And yet, there is one tool, one ability you already have that can create real, tangible shifts in your reality. A tool so powerful that people either don't use it at all or use it in ways that dramatically limit what it can do. Today, we're going to uncover that tool and the version of it that most people never learn to activate. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're on a journey of self-transformation, personal power, and mastering your mind. Here, the tool I'm talking about is visualization. And I know you've probably heard this word so many times that it barely grabs your attention anymore. Visualization. It sounds almost too familiar. But here's the surprising part. Very few people truly use it. Even fewer practice it consciously and consistently. And almost no one uses the most powerful, reality-shifting version of visualization, the one that bends your internal state so deeply, your external world begins to reorganize itself around it. Think about the people who have achieved extraordinary results in business, sports, creativity, or any field that demands mastery. If you speak to them, really speak to them, you'll discover something fascinating. Whether they call it visualization or not, they all use their imagination with exceptional focus. They imagine the outcome. They imagine the process. They imagine the reaction to their work. They imagine themselves already living the result. Even when they claim they don't visualize, they inevitably reveal that they saw their goal clearly, felt it deeply, and aligned their actions with that inner picture long before the world confirmed it. Because whether we admit it or not, we all create our lives through imagination. The question is, do we use it consciously, or do we leave it running on autopilot, generating the same results over and over again? Today, I'll show you a level of visualization that goes beyond logic. One that feels almost magical when practiced correctly. To explain how it works, I want to address two questions people ask all the time. The first, when I visualize, should I see myself from the outside, like a movie, or through my own eyes? The second, is it enough to see quick flashes of images, or should the scenario unfold slowly and continuously? To answer these questions, let's take a simple example, one that will help you understand how this technique works on a deeper level. Imagine a man who wants to move up quickly in his company. Today he's just starting out, but he has a clear intention. He wants to earn a leadership position. Let's call him Michael. He works in a corporate building with 7 floors. 6 floors house various departments, and the 7th is reserved for upper management. He knows exactly what the reception looks like, the elevator, the meeting rooms, everything. The question is, how should Michael visualize his rapid career growth? There are several options. He could imagine himself shaking hands with a senior executive who congratulates him on his new position. He could imagine himself interviewing a new assistant. He could imagine walking confidently across the 7th floor. In a tailored suit. He could imagine stepping into a company car that now waits for him. Outside, all of these scenes are visualizations of the future, pictures that appear somewhere out there, usually in the mental space where we place the idea of tomorrow. This type of visualization is powerful. It clarifies goals. It gives direction. It transforms vague wishes into something concrete. It turns desire into intention, but it's not the strongest form of visualization, because the real power begins when you stop imagining the future and start experiencing the desired reality as if it's happening right now, and here everything changes. When you visualize from the present moment, You don't watch yourself from the outside. You're not observing the scene, you're inside it. You're seeing through your own eyes, hearing the sounds, feeling the sensations, living the moment second by second. This is visualization in the present tense. And it has a completely different impact on your subconscious mind. The subconscious doesn't respond to someday. It responds to this is happening now. This is why the most transformative visualization is not quick flashes of images, but a continuous, lived-through moment that unfolds naturally, just like real life. When you are fully present inside the scene, your emotional state shifts instantly. You feel the reality you are creating. And when your emotional state changes, your behaviors, decisions, opportunities, and outcomes follow. In the next. Let's go deeper into the second, far more powerful type of visualization, the one that works in the present moment. To understand it, we need to return to Michael and look at how his mind can create a reality so vivid, so embodied, that his subconscious begins treating it as something that is already true. When most people visualize, they imagine the scene from the outside, like watching a movie about themselves. They see the future version of who they want to become, but they remain separate from that version. That creates a distance between who they are now and who they wish to be. It becomes a dream, not a state of being. But when you visualize from the present, something fundamentally different happens. You step into the identity, not the outcome. Imagine Michael not watching himself walk across the 7th floor, but actually being there. He's seeing the hallway from his own eyes, not as an observer. He feels the smooth weight of the office door handle in his hand. He hears the soft echo of his footsteps on the polished floor. He notices the subtle scent of the building's air system. He feels the shift in atmosphere that exists on the executive floor, the confidence, the clarity, the responsibility. He becomes the person who belongs there, not the person who hopes to belong there. This is the moment visualization stops being a mental picture and becomes a state of consciousness. And when consciousness shifts, everything shifts. When Michael imagines in the future, the images appear quickly, almost like flashes, a handshake, a car door opening, a confident walk. But if he imagines from the present moment, the scene unfolds continuously, second by second, exactly the way real life does. There is no rush, no skipping, no montage-like sequence of highlights. He is living inside the scene, not observing it. And because he is living inside it, the subconscious mind treats the experience as real. That distinction is everything. The subconscious mind does not understand time. It understands only emotional states and sensory experiences. When you place yourself inside the scene, fully, without rushing through it, your subconscious begins recalibrating your identity. It begins aligning your internal state with the reality you are imagining. And the moment your identity shifts, your behavior naturally adjusts to match it. This is why, for some people, visualization leads to sudden insights, unexpected opportunities, new connections, or events that feel like coincidences. It's not coincidence. It's alignment. To make this clearer, let's follow Michael through one full visualization. Not the quick, future-based one, but the present-based version. Michael closes his eyes and places himself on the executive floor. He's standing right outside the office he now occupies. He reaches for the door handle and feels its cool temperature against his palm. He opens the door and steps into the hallway, noticing the soft hum of distant conversations. He looks down and sees his shoes, polished, sharp, a version of himself he associates with confidence and professionalism. He presses the elevator button. The button lights up under his touch. The elevator arrives with a quiet chime, and he steps inside. The lighting in the elevator reflects off the metal panels. He watches the numbers descend. 7, 6, 5. The elevator stops. The door opens. Someone from the company steps in, a familiar face, someone who now reports to him. There's a moment of acknowledgement, a nod, a smile that carries genuine respect. They exchange a brief greeting, and Michael feels what it's like to be recognized as a leader, not an aspiring employee. The elevator reaches the lobby. The doors slide open. He steps out and instantly feels the shift in energy, the grounding feeling of responsibility, progress, direction. He walks past the reception desk, where the receptionist greets him by name. He continues toward the building's rotating doors, noticing the movement of people around him. He steps outside and immediately spots the company car waiting for him. The driver steps out, opens the door, and nods respectfully. Michael gets into the car. He hears the soft sound of the leather seat as he settles in. The interior feels familiar, like an extension of his identity. The door closes gently. Before the car moves, he takes a breath, steady, calm, confident. He has become the version of himself who lives this reality. Not hopes for it, not dreams of it, lives it. This is the essence of present moment visualization. You don't rush, you don't skip, you don't try to see the images, you experience them. The more sensory detail you include, the sounds, textures, temperature, lighting, smells, movements, the more real the visualization becomes to your subconscious. And the more your subconscious begins shifting your identity to match the reality you're practicing. But here's the important part. Visualization alone doesn't guarantee results if your thinking stays stuck in old patterns. Because the moment your desired reality starts aligning around you, you must be ready to step into it. You need the mindset that matches the reality you're pulling toward yourself. You need the habits, decisions, and emotional discipline that align with the life you want to inhabit. Now that you understand the mechanics of present moment visualization, let's explore why this practice creates real, measurable shifts in your life. Not symbolic ones, not hopeful ones. Actual shifts, new opportunities, new people, new ideas, and new pathways that seem to appear out of nowhere. Many people describe these moments as synchronicities, lucky breaks, or even signs from the universe. But what's really happening is much simpler and far more powerful. You're finally aligning your internal identity with the external reality you want to experience. Every one of us moves through life guided by an internal model, a subconscious system of expectations, beliefs, and emotional patterns that predicts what we think is possible. Most people never update this internal model. They continue thinking from old experiences, old failures, old fears, and old stories about who they are. And because their thinking never evolves, their life doesn't evolve either. Visualization interrupts this cycle. It begins rewriting that internal model through direct, vivid experience. When Michael repeatedly places himself inside the reality he wants, he's not just imagining a moment. He's teaching his subconscious that this reality is familiar, safe, and normal. And when something feels normal, the brain no longer resists it. It no longer creates fear around it. It no longer filters out opportunities that could lead to it. Instead, it begins scanning for anything, even the smallest detail, that matches the identity he's practicing. This is where the magic begins. Maybe his manager casually mentions that a new leadership position might open next quarter. Before, Michael might have dismissed this information or doubted his readiness. But now, because he has already lived that identity in his mind, He hears the opportunity differently. He feels it differently. He responds differently. His confidence is grounded, not forced. His communication becomes clearer. His decisions become sharper. People around him begin to sense a shift. They may not know what changed, but they can feel it. This is how internal alignment becomes external momentum. But visualization does something even more profound. It rewires your emotional relationship with the future. Most people walk toward their goals with fear, hesitation, or a constant question: what if it doesn't work? Present moment visualization replaces that uncertainty with emotional familiarity. When you've lived your desired reality dozens of times in your mind, stepping into opportunities no longer feels frightening, it feels inevitable. This is why so many athletes, performers, creators, and industry leaders use this technique. Even if they don't label it visualization, they repeatedly step into the emotional and sensory experience of their success before it happens. By the time the moment arrives, they're not overwhelmed, they're prepared. But there is one final secret to this practice, and it's the part most people overlook. Your external reality will only expand as far as your internal identity can support. If Michael visualizes himself as a leader, but still clings to beliefs like, "I'm not ready," "people like me don't succeed," or "I always fall short," then the opportunities he attracts will slip through his fingers. He may get the chance, but he won't be able to hold it. This is why you must prepare yourself mentally for the life you want. Not just imagine it, not just hope for it, prepare for it. Preparation means adjusting your daily decisions, your habits, your environment, your self-talk, and your emotional discipline. It means moving through your day as someone who is already aligned with your vision, not as someone waiting for life to change. It means identifying the patterns that keep you small and consciously replacing them with actions that reflect the identity you're stepping into. When your thinking evolves, your life begins to reorganize itself. You start noticing solutions that were invisible before. You make choices that align with your future instead of repeating your past. You show up differently, more aware, more intentional, more grounded. And the universe responds to that shift because you are finally giving it something solid to work with: a clear identity, a clear direction, and a clear emotional frequency. You become the cause, not the effect. Visualization acts as a catalyst, but your mindset becomes the structure that holds everything together. When both align, when you visualize from the present and think from the identity you want to embody, your reality accelerates. Opportunities seem to find you. New paths unfold. Momentum builds. What once felt distant suddenly feels close. And when it arrives, you're not surprised, you're ready. So as you continue this journey, remember, the life you want is not somewhere out there waiting for you. It exists within you first. Through imagination, through identity, through the subtle shift of consciousness that happens when you live your vision in the present moment. That is where the transformation begins. And if you stay consistent, if you train your mind to align with your highest potential, the external world will eventually rearrange itself to match who you have become. If this message resonates with you and you want more content that helps you elevate your mindset, deepen your inner work, and create your life with intention, make sure you subscribe and stay connected. There is so much more ahead.